One question I wanted to ask you is, so you know how a lot of artists, I've watched like interviews and stuff, and they talk about how as an artist, your music needs to evolve, and then like the example that comes to my head is like, I think of Kanye's albums like Graduation and like College Dropout, and I love them, but then as an artist he evolved, and then later stuff I didn't really like, and then people like shit on like, oh, I don't like his stuff anymore, I like his old stuff, but as an artist you keep needing to, I think you keep needing to evolve. So how do you balance, like, how do you still keep producing something? Do I produce for people, or do I produce for myself first? Do you understand what I mean? Because if the vibe goes away, do I lose like my status? Do I lose all this kind of stuff?
Well, there's two different types of producers and artists, right? There's the artist who's always trying to get like a hit, and there's the artist who's just making music for themselves. There's always that kind of like two different. It's like food world, right? There's always like the unknown chef who's making like incredible food, but like he's not really making it to be like a fast food chain or a big chain. He's making it eventually it takes off.
Yeah.
But that journey is a lot longer. And there's the person who's trying to catch one. They're trying to get that one thing to kind of just have them take off, and you can hear the manufactured essence of what they're doing. A really good example, like, and it's totally out of what we're talking about, but like comedy.
Okay.
There's different comedians, right?
Yeah.
There's a comedian like Kevin Hart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He worked hard, but then he kind of like built something that he knew he was going to be a sensation.
Yes.
And then you have someone like Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Bill Burr is like, oh no, I'm not going to be PG-13. I'm going to say whatever I want. I'm probably going to piss off some people, but I'm just going to take the journey. And then Bill Burr was doing an interview, his podcast actually this week, and he said something recently. He has one with Bert. Bill Burt. And he was like saying, I remember Dave Chappelle saw me once and came up to me. He's like, you're really good. It's going to take you a lot longer, but once you blow up, you're going to take off.
Okay.
And that's exactly to answer your question. Like, there's literally two roads on this. And it's like, do you have... Is it a marathon for you, or is it like kind of like a sprint? If you're sprinting, that's how you go about it. If it's a marathon where you're willing to go through the process to get to the point of like the proper point where you're supposed to arrive to, you take the kind of like, you make music for yourself. A really good example is like a Tame Impala, for example.
Oh yeah.
Tame Impala doesn't make music for anybody. He goes off to the middle of nowhere, sits there with his band, and just makes music. He's not following but then again, like, you hear Tame Impala early on and it's like, what is this? Like, I remember when I started listening to Tame Impala, it was because an A&R hit me up and was like, oh, we're working on such and such album. And that's when I was trying to get placements like in the States and stuff. And it's like, oh, her reference is Party Next Door mixed in with Tame Impala. And I'm like, what the fuck is a Tame Impala? I didn't even know what a Tame Impala was. And at that point, he already had a song on Rihanna's album that she took and she re-sang. I had no idea it was him. So I went back and I listened to him. And I'm like, I was listening to it and my mind was just like, it was like an explosion. And I'm like, and I was like, what the fuck is a Tame Impala? And there's no rules to it. Like, you can't really give him a genre, but it took him a lot longer. But when he blew up, everyone now kind of like, it's more obscure. But like,
you respect it.
Like, yeah, dude, I listen to Tame Impala type thing. Like, you're like, you know music, but he's blowing up, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, honestly, back in the day, you wanted to conform, but like, music is in such a beautiful space that you really don't need to.
Yeah.
Like, you can just make whatever, and if it takes off, it takes off. If it blows up, it blows up. You know what I mean?
And do you fall under that philosophy? Like, that's how you like to work, like with the artists, whatever is you're in for like the long road, or do you want like a couple more like hits?
I'd like to get a few hits. It's nice to have a few hits.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's just, how manufactured is your hit?
What do you mean by that?
So you can manufacture a hit right now. You can make. You want to open a new restaurant, right?
Yeah.
You want to make a hit right now in Dubai? Open a fried chicken sandwich spot. You know what it takes for you to do something that's super manufactured that will kind of take off for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You can do that. In any profession in the world, there's an easy shortcut to things. Now, is that longevity? It could be, probably not. You know what I mean? So that's the answer to your question. I can't make it here, right? Hey Mo, just throw in a few Arabic words here and there. Let's get like a guy to play oud here, and let's like say some things about like the Middle East, and like, you know what I mean? And then like, it's a hit. It work.
Yeah.
But is this longevity for him? I don't know if this is longevity for an artist. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to really manufacture. Like you can manufacture something, and it can feel manufactured sometimes. But there's people who do it, and they do it so good.
Yeah.
And there's people who do it, and you gotta live with it.
Yeah.
Because if you make something right now that you manufacture and you know it's gonna hit or it hits, are you willing to sing that song for 10 years?
That's true.
Are you willing to be? You want to be that guy? Like there's a really good example.
Gangnam Style is a perfect
like,
example.
do you want to be that guy? Do you want to be the Gangnam Style guy for 10 years? If you can live with it. See, some people don't really like music.
Yeah.
They want the check or they want to be big, right?
Sure.
If you can live with it, bro, salute.
Go, yeah.
For me, I would rather not.
Okay.
Even though there might be like I've been in situations where someone goes like, I got a massive check for you if you can do 1, 2, 3, 4. Luckily, I'm a producer. I can get away with it because I'm like, yo, just don't put my name on it. Give me the check. And just don't put my name because I don't want to be known for that thing.
Ah, I see. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, as an artist, it's difficult because you're front and center.
Yeah.
So there's like a decision where you have to make like, you're going to make something. Maybe it won't hit. Like there's no formula to it, right?
Yeah.
There is a light formula. Like you can put it together. You can manufacture something, but are you willing to live with it? The biggest question that I ask artists is, if you're willing to live with it and this is your truth, if you're Gangnam Style like all the time, fuck it, dude, do it.
Yeah,
if you can be like, people don't know. Like at one point, Pitbull decided to become Pitbull because nobody remembers Pitbull.
Before,
Like nobody remembers the Kulo Pitbull. No one
Yeah.
remembers the Pitbull that was signed to Lil Jon trying to make it. The guy who's singing about slanging like dope in the corner, like from Miami, right? It was
Yeah.
a dope ass rapper.
Yeah.
Like I remember him coming out and his like projects were hitting. Like it was really good for the rap community. But then like Pitbull was like, yo, I need those millions. Like I got to do those J-Lo records and I got to be Mr. Worldwide, you
Mr.
know?
Worldwide.
So he made the decision to go from here to here. And he's like, I'll live with it. Are you willing to wear that suit? For
My
10
white
years,
suit.
if you are, then yo, blessings on you, dude, and like make the money. But like, it's
Yeah.
all about that decision where you're like, can you live with your art, and are you willing to be that guy? Anything you make, you have to know something. With the world taking off these days, anything you do that goes publicly, there's a potential of you becoming that guy.
Yeah.
So you gotta always think about it like, can I live with myself being that guy?
Being that guy. Yeah.
That's ultimately that.
Yeah, I think that's awesome advice. And I didn't consider that, you don't want it like, I think you explained it perfectly about, do you want to go for the long game, the longevity, like you said, or do you want to make that hit and can you live with yourself being that guy for so long?
Yeah.